EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for August 24th, 2020. For your Monday, expecting partly cloudy skies for the beginning of the day, and then we'll have an opportunity for isolated to widely scattered thunderstorms in some spots this afternoon and evening. I think it's generally a mid-afternoon through mid-evening chance for those thunderstorms to pop up. We're going to have a mid-level impulse that's going to move overhead and through the region during that time. So we'll have the ability to have a trigger mechanism in place to take advantage of the instability that's in place, which should generally be between 1,000 and 1,500 joules per kilogram in terms of instability values, which is pretty modest. But we do have our shear is still kind of low and very weak steering flow, so I'm expecting that we're going to see a lot of pulsars with some heavy rain potential as the main threat here. We're not looking at severe weather largely today, and not all areas will get into this. So as we get over the NAM high-res future simulated radar, starting us off at 4 p.m., you see some cells starting to initiate in the same spots, generally central PA with that mid-level impulse moving through. And a few spots will get into these storms through mid-evening, and that's it. But most areas will not. But if you do get under one of these slow-moving cells, you could have some locally heavy rainfall and, of course, some moderate lightning with that as well. I don't expect severe as a general rule today. There is a better chance of that on Tuesday as we have a cold front dropping down from the north, and you can see that here. Both globals and the NAM are not very thrilled, though, with this system. And the reason is because here's the cold front associated with this area low pressure, which is way up in New England, northeastern New England and extreme southeastern Canada. So your best forcing is going to be up in this region here. This is where your best forcing is. In our area, there's not a lot of forcing, and that's the reason you're not seeing too much on the NAM here as I move this forward here on Tuesday. You do see a semblance of a line moving down here during the day, right here. But it's a very broken line. There's not a lot of concentration of activity. We can get something to congeal here. Then not saying the NAM is correct here with showing very little. It could be right because there's an appreciable lack of forcing. So if you can get a line going here, so kind of like shown out here, where it's a little bit more organized and it's over our area, as this pushes off to the south, you could have some severe weather with it. So the Storm Prediction Center did put out a slight risk for severe. At the time this video was recorded, it was actually put out very late last night, and this is maybe updated since then, but it looks like the forcing on area is going to be lacking, and that's going to be the big reason why you see very little in the way of coverage. But any of these storms can be severe here on Tuesday with gusty winds is the primary threat, maybe some large hail as well, but I think that's your primary threats here with anything on Tuesday. Everything should be moving pretty quickly, though, with that cold front moving off to the south. Now, after that, we're going to have a trough that's going to settle in. So Wednesday is, for at least a day, we're going to have a much cooler day here on Wednesday. We're going to have temperatures upper 80s to near 90 across the region, both today and tomorrow. And then once we get to Wednesday on the opposite side of that front, here's looking at Wednesday, and the frontal boundary is now off to our south. Okay, so because of that, we have a wind flow coming in like this, and that means we're going to have temperatures that are going to be notably cooler and with lower humidity. So it's going to be a one-day break here before that same frontal boundary gets pulled back to the north again on Wednesday night. So you get just during the day, you'll have a nice day on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, low humidity, and temperatures in generally the lower 80s. And then we'll be right back up to where we were before that front came through Monday and Tuesday. Very similar day, a similar day here on Thursday with that comparable to today and tomorrow. Okay, so temperatures will be right back in the upper 80s to near 90 again, once again here on Thursday. Here's that one front moving through and lifting northward. You can see it's north of our region again here on Thursday. We are in the clear here. Now, to the tropical part of things here, to get a better perspective before I get back into this is one of them. This is a remnant system. As we get into, let me give you a wide view perspective here. This is what the Caribbean basically looks like right now. You have one in the Gulf of Mexico, which is Marco. Okay, and Marco has now been downgraded to a tropical storm. It is expected to continue to weaken as it heads toward the coastline here, somewhere between, say, New Orleans and Mobile Bay, somewhere right in there. Okay, it is expected to weaken significantly. Might hold on to a little bit to tropical storm strength into landfall, but then after that, it just kind of goes away. This one is the one we're worried about. Have a little more concern, not worried, but we have a little bit more concern about. And this is going to take a path. It's the latest 11 o'clock advisor, which I'll show you in a second. It had it over southwestern Cuba, just north of Jamaica here. And it's going to take a path kind of like this and head somewhere up here in this general vicinity. Okay? Somewhere towards New Orleans again. And this could be approaching major hurricane strength by the time it gets out here in the Gulf. Once it gets in the Gulf here, it's going to have room to grow. So right now it's just a tropical storm, and this is Laura. Okay, and once it moves off to the northwest here, we're expecting to strengthen over the Gulf of Mexico. We are just watching this for interest in our area as far as remnants are concerned, and whether or not we have any remnants. Here's that system on satellite, and again, the latest satellite fix. This is a RGB loop here. This is the true color loop because it's nighttime, so you don't see the visible satellite here. But just to stop this here, this is the latest fix we have here from National Hurricane Center Porter right about here. This down here is Jamaica. Haiti is right here, and this is, of course, Cuba right here, okay? So this is going to continue moving off to the northwest here, or west-northwest, on the southern tip of Cuba and head into the Gulf of Mexico eventually. So that's it's still looking pretty impressive considering what over the mountains here, and which normally shreds a lot of these systems, but it held its own, and it's actually a pretty strong tropical storm. All right, and the official National Hurricane Center advisory takes this up again, just south of the southern tip of Cuba here, over the western coast, and then it intensifies into a hurricane. And with the latest plot here, right at 8 p.m. Wednesday, where it has the H here, that doesn't have an M there yet, because it's not quite forecast to be that high. But the National Hurricane Center even admits that there could be, it's only a slight change between their predicted value here of 90 knots, which is about 105 miles per hour, to the start of Category 3, or a major hurricane, which starts at 111 miles per hour. So it's not that far off, okay? So it's still going to be a pretty strong, potentially a strong hurricane by the time it gets to somewhere in near the Louisiana coast. Whether it's Category 2 or 3 doesn't really matter. We're worried about here at this point what it does after that. And the official track does take it up over the Tennessee Valley, up like this, and kind of in this direction. It doesn't continue past that. But the reason it's curving is because we have a trough coming in here at the end of the week. And this trough is going to be responsible for bringing temperatures to very nice levels here over the weekend. But before we get to that, we have the cold front moving through our region here. This is already scheduled to move through our region anyway on Friday. Scattered showers and storms. Here is the remnants of Laura, okay? And this is going to be picked up by this trough and sent eastward. Now the question is, how quickly does that trough pick this system up? And does this go like it is here, or is it going to take a little bit more northward path and go right over our region and give us some enhanced rainfall on that refrontal boundary? That remains to be seen. It's something we're going to be monitoring throughout the week. Again, it's awfully close here, so I don't want to dismiss either option. Okay, it's going to depend on the speed of this trough and the speed of the system itself, and what happens with it getting absorbed by this trough eventually, which is coming in here on Friday. But we will have scattered showers and thunderstorms, we think, on Friday. With that cold front moving through, and the question now just remains whether or not it's going to be enhanced rainfall with this system here, because that's all you'll be dealing with. You're not going to be dealing with another Faye or Isaias type impacts here where we're having like 4, 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. Not like that. And we're not talking about high winds either, because this is going to spend a lot of time over land weakening, so the wind will not be an issue here either. But then once this gets behind us, we have clouds giving way to sun on Saturday, and then the trough settles in for Sunday. We're not going to be out of the 70s for highs here on Saturday, and with low humidity, so it feel very, very nice over this weekend. And actually, Saturday is kind of a transition day, a lot lower temperatures there too. Not quite into the 70s, but Sunday, I think, is the day you're going to really feel the noticeable difference with lower temperatures and humidity, and temperatures that are going to be in the 70s just about everywhere in our coverage area here on Sunday. But it does look like we're going to have to watch for that system here, for the remnants thereof. The good news with this, if it does move through, it looks like it's moving relatively fast, so it won't be sticking around for days and days and days, that kind of thing. So it should, and you could get, if you do have an enhanced rainfall situation, you might have some heavy rain involved with that, but I don't think you're talking about 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. It might be more like 2 or 3. That's probably the upside. But we're not there yet. This could be just south of the region, and we get very little just with the scattered showers and thunderstorms that were already expected with the cold front on Friday. We're going to cover that throughout the week and continue to update with new information as we get it. Until then, I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for August 24th, 2020. Have a great Monday.